Back on the MSG 150 at home, presented by Chase, Bill Pito, Cam Smith, and Alan Hahn, and we say hello to former Giants wide receiver David Tyree. Made one of the most famous catches in Giants history, one of the most famous catches in Super Bowl history, the miracle reception against the Patriots in Super Bowl 42. Dave, it's so great to see you. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me today.
So what is the passage of time due to that amazing memory?
Oh, my goodness. The passage of time, well, is for me, it's this moment that I kind of call the monuments of moment. Like it's something that is well established, me and my personal profession, accomplishments, achievements. Of course, everybody wants to build on something like that. It didn't work out quite that way, but it's always something I can go back to, celebrate with fans, teammates, and actually have to be a part of history is pretty monumental. It's amazing.
You know, Plaxico Burress told me he has the ball you caught because he ended up catching the touchdown right after that. And he was bragging about how, you know, David Tyree thinks he has the ball. I've got the ball. I made the touchdown, but he doesn't get a touchdown if you don't make that catch. Who has the ball?
You know, I thought he was my friend. You know, let's start there. I thought he was a friend. I thought he's a good teammate. You know, and it would have been, I could understand if I didn't score a touchdown. I tried to swap. You know, I tried to give him my touchdown ball. You know, like, it's not like I just had the catch. But nah, man, Plex, actually, that is a fact, a true fact statement. He's got a 2-for-1 of a lifetime.
David, let's go into the lead up to that Super Bowl game and the practices, actually. You had some challenges with securing some balls that were thrown to you. Going into the game, though, what was that mindset shift or focus, knowing that you had to make sure that, you know, the cases of the drops that you had in practice had to be corrected for the game because it's a big moment on stage?
Yeah, well-documented part of the story, right? I guess it makes for a greater story. You know, Friday is supposed to be that dress rehearsal day, and you want everything crisp and clean, and it was really just that, you know, feel-good Friday. I didn't feel too good. And, and you know, like a bad practice is like 2 drops, and I think I dropped about everything. And I blame that on Plaxico, my friend, because he nicked himself up early in the week, and I got all his reps. So honestly, for me, it was nothing mental about it. It was just, man, I just had a really bad practice. Forget those things which are behind and press on to what's ahead. It was great. Eli came up to me. I think me and Eli had this soft chemistry as a guy like myself, knowing that I was always put in a position as a backup, being ready. I think we had pretty good chemistry, and there was always trust there. So it's like, hey, man, we ready. I know you'll be good. And we went out and made it right.
Now, everybody envisions to make a big play during those moments in the championship game, but did you envision yourself having that type of catch, and it's being regarded as the greatest catch of all time, according to the NFL Network?
I can't say I envisioned that. You know, obviously I got a chance to tell my story and some of the faith elements behind it, which were pretty awesome and supernatural. But what I will say is that I definitely envisioned having a meaningful game. So when I scored a touchdown in the 4th quarter, and I already have a couple tackles as a special teams player in the Super Bowl, I'm feeling like I'm on top of the world right now. And the way our defense is playing, I felt like that was it. So I just know that, you know, obviously, you know, God was involved to allow me to be a part of a narrative that continues to live beyond me.
You know, it's amazing, Dave. If Asante Samuel holds on to that football for the interception, there is no catch. Is there anything that happened in those moments? And it's been so well documented, but is there anything we don't know about that you can tell us?
I can't say there's anything that I think I've withheld. What I do know is that when people ask me who are the most feared corners that you've gone against or, you know, played against during my years, Asante Samuel was right up there. He's one of the best playmaking cornerbacks in the NFL throughout his career and his prime years. And so obviously that, you know, people don't know that pass wasn't even intended for me. It was actually, you know, Eli trying to throw the ball away when Steve Smith had a little error on the hot route. So, you know, there's a little bit of, you know, because by the time I get my head around, it's already up. And thank God Asante dropped it, which very rarely ever happens. So, yeah, there's a lot of things that worked out to get to this, you know, that climax.
You mentioned Eli Manning, and obviously he was on the other side of that throw that obviously you'll remember for the rest of your life. But he just retired this past season now. And for you, what do you remember about him as a teammate? What do you know about Eli Manning, and what do you think of his Hall of Fame credentials?
You know, I think what I appreciate is the journey and the evolution of Eli Manning, right? Like when you're number one overall, as should be, the expectations are extremely high. When you think about the legacy attached to the name and the many shoes he had to walk into in life, especially coming into New York City. And what I appreciated was that it wasn't all roses when he stepped into New York. That at one time he looked like, maybe a bust, right? But he just worked. He was consistent. He was full of integrity. He was full of character. He was the best teammate I think any of us ever played with throughout our years, because he never spoke ill of his teammates when, honestly, it's okay to sometimes, it's okay to sometimes, but he was very true to himself, and it proved through its way as he matured and became a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Dave, you talked about the special qualities of Eli as a quarterback and how he was one of the best teammates that any of you guys had. What were the elements that went into that wide receiver group that you all had with yourself and Amani and Plax and Steve Smith? What made that group so special? But then also with this current Giants wide receiver group and Tate and Shepard and Slayton, what makes them kind of, the kind of future and what you foresee this group having?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think for our group, we had a good deal of experience and savvy. Obviously, Plaxico was just a big play. It was just a big play waiting to happen. But Amani was such a great veteran. You couldn't find anybody to skirt the sideline like Amani Toomer. And then we just had some young talent with Steve. And I was probably that, trusted anchor linchpin, obviously primary role on special teams. And I think I had earned that credibility through the years to step in wherever needed. And so it was great to be a part of it. With this young group, you have some similarity, but obviously not as much solidarity. Like, I think the only thing that is lacking is like this proven playmaker that Amani and Plaxico had been in those teams. Even looking at the Super Bowl XLII team, they had a young raw talent, Akeem Nicks, obviously Victor Cruz. Those were some of the differences, but I love Golden Tate. I'll just say that right now. I think I didn't expect as much out of him, and he missed 4 games last year. I think he's got more than 10.
So, Dave, you've recently opened up a clean juice franchise in Morristown, New Jersey. Tell us about that, and why was opening day so special?
Oh man, it was great. We just grand opened on the 27th, and of course I would pick a global pandemic, coming out of a global pandemic, to open a business, right? And no one plans it that way, but it was, with all those things considered, it was special bringing the first and original USDA certified organic franchise. And as we were cutting the ribbon with the mayor and family and celebrating, our old buddy, license plate guy, brings good tidings on behalf of Justin Tuck. And to celebrate, although he couldn't be there in person, shows what kind of guy he is. He purchased the first 91 cold pressed juices, and so it was quite the kickoff to an amazing business, amazing opportunity for me as a local Jersey boy, being able to bring something within my own backyard, more or less. It was, Justin made it. It was a heck of a splash. I'll just say that much.
All right, Dave. Best of luck with that. It's so great to see you. Thanks for joining us here.
No, truly delighted to be with you. Let's go Big Blue. 2020, we'll get some things done.
All right, David Tyree with one of the most famous catches in the history of New York sports. But where does it rank all time? We'll debate next on the MSG 150 at Home, presented by Chase.